Hello everyone, welcome to AM Vision. In today's story, we'll explore an important life lesson, the power of perspective. A lesson that can completely change how we see challenges, find joy, and create the opportunities that lead to success. The blindness of negativity. Perspective is the lens through which we view our life. It's the quiet force that determines whether we see a closed door as a final barrier or as an invitation to find a window. In a world full of both beauty and struggle, our focus is what separates the defeated from the determined. Most people wait for perfect circumstances to feel happy. But those who thrive choose their focus first and let their inner light illuminate the circumstances. Because success doesn't come from a life without problems. It comes from seeing every problem as a puzzle that can be solved. So stop magnifying the negative. Stop dwelling on the inevitable flaws. The most powerful tool you own is your mind, and the secret is simple: positivity over paralysis. Remember, negativity makes you see limits, but positivity creates possibilities. That's the power that transforms unavoidable struggle into extraordinary opportunity. Leo, the problem collector. Once upon a time, in a vibrant coastal town called Port Vista, there lived a young man named Leo. He was sharp-witted, intelligent, and keenly observant. But behind that sharp mind, Leo had a serious problem. He was a problem collector. He believed his purpose was to identify every flaw, every risk, and every reason not to act. He had no goals, no completed projects, and no drive to move forward. He simply believed that every venture was doomed to fail due to some inevitable, foreseeable flaw. His family worried deeply about his future, while others in the town whispered that Leo was brilliant, but paralyzed by his own pessimism. One afternoon, Leo went wandering alone along the old fishing docks. Tired and lost in thought, he looked at the bustling harbor and saw only defects: the cracked wood of the docks, the rust on the ship hulls, and the gray fog that was guaranteed to slow down the day's trade. Tired of his own mind, he sat down, sighing. Why does everything feel so difficult? Why does every solution have 5 worse problems attached to it? Just then, Master Silas, the village's oldest and most successful fisherman, was passing by. Seeing Leo sitting in despair amidst the chaos he navigated daily, Silas approached him and asked gently, "My son, why do you look so defeated on a day full of promise?" Leo stayed silent for a moment and then frowned. "I don't know what to do, Master Silas. I see all the problems, all the risks, and all the reasons to fail, and I am stopped. Why is the world so stubbornly flawed?" The master smiled and said, "You are not seeing the world, Leo. You are only seeing your focus. Let me give you a task: the experiment of the 2 jars." Master Silas returned with 2 identical empty wooden jars. "For 1 week," Silas instructed, "carry these. The first jar is for problems. The second is for gifts and opportunities. Every time you identify a flaw, write it on a small slip of paper and place it in the problems jar. Every time you notice something to be grateful for or an opportunity to improve, place it in the gifts jar." Leo eagerly accepted the challenge. The first 2 days were ridiculously easy. The problems jar filled instantly. The morning fog slows trade. The dock plank is loose. My fishing net has a tear. Problem. By the end of the second day, the problems jar was overflowing. Leo felt validated, but his life had stopped. When the fog rolled in, he stood still, refusing to work because of the inevitable difficulty. His mind was heavy, and the gifts jar sat completely empty. On the 3rd morning, Leo realized the flaw in his own logic. He had brilliantly documented reasons to be paralyzed, while failing to record a single reason to act. Reluctantly, he forced himself to focus on the empty jar. He looked at the morning fog again. His mind screamed, "Visibility is poor," but he forced a new thought. The fog dampens the sun and keeps the ropes from drying out, preventing them from cracking. Gift, protection from wear and tear. He looked at his torn net. Failure, his mind cried. He stopped, forced himself to breathe, and looked closer. The tear was a gift, an opportunity to sit down, practice his weaving skills, and make the net stronger than it was before. He started placing slips into the gifts jar. The sun warms my back, gift. The fishing boat is sturdy. The tear in the net forces me to slow down and practice my craft, opportunity. Leo wasn't ignoring the problems. He was simply reframing them. The problem wasn't the final word. It was just the starting line for a solution or a lesson. His movement returned, and his work was suddenly lighter. The true measure of wealth. When Leo returned to Master Silas, he carried 2 full jars. Silas gently picked up the problems jar. "This jar is heavy," he said. "It holds all the reasons you have to quit." Then he picked up the gifts jar, shaking it gently so the slips rustled. "And this one," he said, "holds all the resources, opportunities, and gratitude you needed to succeed." You asked me why the world is so flawed, Leo. The truth is, the world is perfect because it gives us both jars. The purpose of a problem is not to stop you, but to teach you where the next gift lies. You were so busy seeing what was wrong that you were blind to the power you had to make things right. Leo finally understood. He walked away from Master Silas, no longer focused on counting what was wrong, but counting all the ways he could use his mind to find the opportunities hidden in plain sight. The same person, the same town, the same challenges, but an entirely new life. His pessimism was not realism. It was simply a choice of focus. And he chose to focus on the light. Today, I want to speak about something that silently steals the joy from millions of lives: the habit of counting only problems. We live in a world where it's easy to focus on what's wrong, our failures, our insecurities, our losses, our stress. We wake up thinking about what's missing instead of what's possible. And because of that, we lose sight of the blessings that are already ours, the perspective shift. Let me tell you this truth. The way you see your life determines the way you live it. If you only see darkness, you'll never notice the sunrise. If you only see obstacles, you'll never notice the path forward. The secret to happiness isn't a perfect life. It's a positive lens. Life will always present you with 2 lists, one filled with problems and one filled with possibilities. Most people keep rewriting the list of problems, but the wise ones, they keep rewriting the list of gratitude. The psychology of focus. Your mind is like a mirror. It reflects what you choose to look at. If you focus on pain, you'll see reasons to suffer. If you focus on progress, you'll see reasons to rise. Whatever you count more of expands. Count problems and you'll multiply your misery. Count blessings and you'll multiply your peace. The human brain is wired to notice what's wrong. It's a survival instinct, but not a thriving instinct. To thrive, you must retrain your brain to see opportunity inside difficulty and hope inside hardship. Choose the lens of positivity. Positivity isn't ignoring reality. It's choosing to focus on the parts that help you move forward. It's not pretending the storm doesn't exist. It's believing the storm won't last forever. It's understanding that your reaction creates more impact than your situation. The truth is, you can't always control what happens, but you can always control how you interpret it. And that interpretation becomes your reality. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation of mental strength. It doesn't mean you have no problems. It means your blessings are louder than your complaints. When you start your day by saying, "I'm thankful for one more chance," you change the chemistry of your mind. You create space for calm, confidence, and creativity. A grateful mind doesn't deny pain. It transforms it. It takes fear and turns it into fuel. The mindset of winners. Every successful person you admire has faced failure, betrayal, loss, and doubt. But what separates them is not luck, it's focus. They chose to see every setback as a lesson, every failure as a foundation, every difficulty as a direction. They counted their progress, not their problems. They built momentum from gratitude, not excuses. When you look at life through the eyes of growth, no day is wasted, even the bad ones, because the bad days teach you endurance and the good days reward your patience. The choice you make daily. Every morning, you have a choice. You can wake up and count everything that's wrong, your deadlines, your disappointments, your doubts. Or you can wake up and count what's right, the chance to try again, the lessons you've learned, the people who still care. The day you start counting what's right is the day your energy changes, your thoughts align, your mood lifts, your power returns. Because positivity isn't about ignoring pain, it's about refusing to surrender to it. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I'm harder. It hurts, but it's shaping me into someone stronger. It's dark now, but the dawn is coming. The ripple effect of positivity. When you choose to see light, you don't just brighten your own world, you inspire others to find their light too. Your smile becomes someone's hope. Your courage becomes someone's example. Your gratitude becomes someone's reminder that life is still worth fighting for. Positivity is contagious, and you are the source. Don't underestimate the power of your mindset, because one positive thinker is stronger than 100 complainers. The core message. Remember this truth deeply. Your life is not defined by the number of problems you have, but by the number of possibilities you choose to see. Stop magnifying the negative. Stop rehearsing the worst-case scenario. Stop calling yourself unlucky. You are not unlucky. You are unfocused. Shift that focus and watch how your life transforms. When you look at life with a grateful heart, even an ordinary day feels extraordinary. When you stop complaining, you start creating. When you stop doubting, you start doing. And when you stop counting problems, you start discovering purpose. The call to action. So today, make a decision that can change everything. Decide that you will no longer feed negativity. Decide that you will count your blessings louder than your burdens. Every morning, list 3 things you're grateful for. Every night, recall one moment that made you smile. Do it daily. Do it with intention. Do it until your mind learns that gratitude is your default setting. Because happiness isn't a miracle, it's a muscle. And like every muscle, it grows with practice. The more you exercise gratitude, the stronger your positivity becomes. Closing message. So my friend, don't be the person who counts only problems. Be the one who counts blessings, lessons, and possibilities. Don't let your problems define you. Let your perspective design you. Remember, there's always more light than darkness, more hope than fear, more reasons to rise than to give up. You have one life. Make it a masterpiece of positivity. Make it an example that reminds others. No matter how many problems life gives you, you always have one greater power, the power to choose how you see them. Stay positive. Stay grateful. Stay unstoppable. This is AM Vision,